All right, we're live, folks. Welcome to part 2 of the Dreamhost course. All right. If you're here, go ahead and say hi. Let's see who we have in our chat. We're a little bit early today, but that's okay. We are going to go ahead and get started momentarily. I just want to make sure my chat's working. I realize that I am a little bit early, but that is better than late, I guess. So, welcome, folks. And yeah, so we're going to have some great time doing some WordPress stuff tonight. I'm probably going to end up recording this in multiple parts, so be on the lookout for part 3, and who knows how long we're going to have these parts. Part 1 was kind of crazy because we had a lot of problems, but this will also be edited down as well into different videos, so I'm going to have both formats. I like the live format because people can ask me questions, but I also am going to make it a course format in terms of videos, so that is my plan. Alright. Let's see. My Safari is not responding. Anyone here? Or am I just by myself? Apparently my Safari is not responding at all, so once I know that someone's here, we can go ahead and get started. Just want to make sure my chat's working okay. But how's everyone on this Saturday? No, it's not Saturday night. It is a Sunday night. How are y'all tonight? Someone just said hi. Let me figure out who it is. Let's see. Whoever broke this restream chat, I'm seriously gonna be mad. Yeah, someone broke this restream chat, and I'm super mad. Alright. Anyways, we're going to get started in just a minute here. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen. We're going to start the recording. Doing good. Well, I'm doing good as well. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome. I'm doing pretty good on this Sunday night here in Austin. We just ate some food, and we're going to go ahead and get this show on the road. We're going to be building a website today. We were going to build my personal website, but we had a lot of problems. So we're going to be building our YouTube channel website for twp.com. So it's going to be pretty awesome. Let me go ahead and share the screen. I'm having a little bit of trouble with my chat this evening, so hey, Jeff. Wow, we've got a lot of people watching. This is awesome. Jeff's here. Michael's here. I believe I kept cutting off names. So welcome, welcome, folks. This is awesome. All right. So let's go ahead and get this show on the road, shall we? Payon asked what I ate. Oh, come on, Payon. I had burgers. We ate at Phil's Ice House. Hey, Payon. Yes, by the way, it is Payon. Yes. Well, what happened is the speech chat or restream chat kept cutting off the usernames. So, Payon, we had Phil's Ice House, which is a local Austin place. So, all right. Anyways, we've got a lot to do tonight, folks. So, let's go ahead and get this party started. In part 1, let me record. All right. So, in part 1, what we did is we went ahead and we installed WordPress. And then we ran into some DNS issues. In part 2, what we're going to go do is we're going to customize our website. So far, I have WordPress installed, and I showed you guys how to use the Dreamhost WordPress installing bot to go ahead and install your WordPress site. So currently, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to log into Dreamhost, and I'm actually going to go manage my WordPress site. Now, something else you should know is that when you first install WordPress, you need to actually set a password, and Dreamhost will send you an email in order to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen for just a second so that I can set my password, because I already it automatically gives you a password and a username to get started with. But it's always a good idea to change the password. That way it's more secure. Although they do give you very secure passwords, but it's always a good idea to just set your own password. So let's go ahead and I'm going to do that. So just give me a couple seconds. While I'm doing that, if you guys have questions, then we can go ahead and address those. Armando Valles had a question in my last part of the chat. He asked me, Taylor, I'm going to be doing a courses platform, offering courses. What's the best way to go? Armando, I would recommend using Paid Memberships Pro. I have a link in my description for a video where I did a 5-hour-long course platform build, and I use Paid Memberships Pro. So go ahead and check that out. There's a free courses add-on that you can install. So Paid Memberships Pro is a great way to do courses. Now, the only reason why I didn't end up sticking with that for my courses platform was because it got hacked. So that's a good reason, right? So again, if you're sticking with Dreamhost and you're using those reputable providers, I don't see a problem with it. But just based on what we had back in September, that's kind of what happened. So, okay. Anyways, give me a couple seconds, folks. I'm going to log in, and I'm going to start doing some passwords here. So make sure if you're following along that you open up the email that Dreamhost assigned to you, and you change your password. All right, so let me go ahead and do this here. Okay. I'm going to click this little link here. I always love iCloud Keychain because it gives me strong passwords, and I'm going to go ahead and accept that. I'm going to copy this password that it gives me here. That way I can use it on my Windows side since I am demonstrating on Windows. I'm going to save password. Save password. And my password has been reset. Okay, so let me go ahead and get back the screen. And I'm going to go ahead and log into our Dreamhost. So here's what we're going to do. Let's see here. Oh, I'm actually already logged in. So let me go show the process. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to dreamhost.com. And we're going to look for login. It's a button. So I just use my button commands if you're using a screen reader. And I'm going to look for the domain that I want to manage. So the easiest way I'm going to do this is I'm going to do a find command. Type in TWP. I'm going to press enter on this. Oops, actually, no, I'm not going to press enter. I'm going to press down arrow twice to go to manage. Manage will allow me to manage this website so I can do different things with it. And sorry for the loud noise outside, folks. I have no idea what that was. Next thing I want to do is I want to go down to WordPress. And I want to go to manage here. You can also go to where it says, for example, twp.com/wp-login. So let me go demonstrate that real quick, or wp-admin. So twp.com, wp-admin. And voila, we are in our website. So this is the landing page when you open up your first website with Dreamhost. And there's a lot of customization we need to do. So in particular, this website is going to serve as our hub for our YouTube channel, in particular this YouTube channel. And so we're going to have different videos. We're going to have different things like that in this website. So we're going to be showing you guys how to build this. And of course, it's going to be hosted on our favorite Dreamhost because we already have Dreamhost here, right? So, okay. I'm going to go ahead and let's see what we have here. Okay. The other thing you can do is if you're not logged in, you can actually type in the username they provided you, or you could actually type in your email. So you have two ways to access your WordPress sites. Two ways to access WordPress. You can either go through Dreamhost directly, go to manage, and then go to manage again for the WordPress. or you can go to your website.com/wp-admin or wp-login. So you have many options for managing your WordPress sites. And in particular, if you're working with clients, this could be good because you can go into their sites. Although I don't know if I really recommend Dreamhost for client management sites, but either way, we're not going to get into that in this tutorial. That is way beyond the scope of this. While I'm on this page, do I have any questions from the chat? Anyone curious about anything? You know what, before I need to check something real quick. Okay, just a second. Let me check something real quick. Okay, good. I just had to check something real fast. So anyone have any questions? So this is a blocks page just saying, hey, you can design it all with blocks. Tweak your site health status. All right. One page. So, first thing we're going to do is, let's see. I'm going to go to dashboard. And I'm going to dismiss the welcome panel. I like to get the welcome panel out of the way because it helps me to get a clearer vision of what I have. So I just hit dismiss on the welcome panel. So I dismiss the welcome panel. And WordPress 5.9 is a little bit different than WordPress 5.8. So keep in mind that, folks, depending on your theme, you'll have different options. So I'm going to actually go ahead and throw on GeneratePress for this tutorial because GeneratePress is a tried true classic. Thanks to Payon for recommending this to me last year almost. So thanks, Payon. GeneratePress is the bomb. So I'm going to type in themes. Whoops. Let me find themes. The only thing about this Windows computer, folks, is I can't do all my different navigation commands because I don't have... You know what? Did I set that up? Oh. Actually, I did set that up. I'm better than I thought I was, folks. I'm going to go to themes. And then I'm going to go to add new. I'm going to type in GeneratePress. GeneratePress is a tried and true classic. Enter. And GeneratePress. Install GeneratePress. And of course, with your GeneratePress and any of your themes, you've got two steps in order to make it work. First step is installation. Second step is activation. Activate. All right. So GeneratePress has been installed. So a lot of themes with 5.9 have what's called block-based, meaning they have a full site editor where you can edit the whole entire site, header, footer, navigation with blocks with Gutenberg. I have mixed feelings about this. For this tutorial, we're not going to be using those features only because they're technically still in beta at this point. And honestly, they're not the most accessible. So in this tutorial, we're going to be sticking with the tried and true classic and the classic editor, meaning the classic before 5.9. Basically meaning the 5.8 way of doing things. Because GeneratePress has not adopted the new 5.9 standards yet. So it all depends on your theme of choice. So if you have 2022, you will see the editor beta. So just keep that in mind, folks, is that if you don't want full site editing, as it's called, make sure to choose a non-full site editing theme. Alright, so let me go look for Customize. Customize GeneratePress. And GeneratePress does come in two different flavors. You've got your premium and your free. I'm probably going to be installing premium on here at some point, but right now I'm just going to start with free. And what I like to do when I'm doing a new site is I like to go through the whole customizer, and I like to customize the different areas individually. So I'm going to show you guys what I mean. All I did here is I went under Appearance and then Customize. And what I like to do is I like to start from the top and customize the different aspects of my site. So let's start from the top here. Active Theme, GeneratePress, Premium Modules. I'm going to click on Site Identity. I'm going to get rid of the Just Another WordPress site. Whoops. And I'm going to call this TWP. And I can also hide the site title. I'm going to type in for the tagline, the home. Actually, I'm going to make these capitalized. Of, if I can actually type competently tonight, the TWP YouTube the home of the TWP YouTube channel. And I can go ahead and hide that if I want. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and hide the site tagline. I just like to put that in there because it's required. Logo, I don't have one right now, so I'm going to go ahead and skip that. I don't have a site icon right now, so I'm going to go skip that. And now all I'm going to do is I'm going to press Control Home. And I'm going to go to back. Now, I'm not going to publish yet because I have a lot more areas I want to customize. So if I go back, I can actually customize all the different areas that I need to customize, and then I can hit publish all at once, okay? So, site identity, let's go and lay out and see what we got. And personally, I'm doing this for you guys. Header. Let me open up header here. Good. I want the header. Good. So this is all about layout. Let me go back here. I'm going to go back. Container is basically the overlying area of your site. So it's basically full width 1200 at this point. So that's all areas that we do for design. We'll probably cover design a different part here. So I'm going to go back. Primary navigation, let's look at these options. Float right, that's fine. I want to disable navigation search, good. Okay. So let me get out of this real quick. And I have to go back again to go out of this navigation page. Whoops. Sorry about that, folks. Alright, so then next is sidebars. And basically these control the different areas on the side of your site. Footer. This is all options related to the footer, like copyright and all that fun stuff. We'll be changing that in a little bit later. Blog. Let's open this up. So excerpt. So that's just basically saying the blog types. Alright, so now where's my menus I asked for? Okay. So, I think, let me get out of this layout. So that's all the stuff included in layout. Colors is obviously all relating to your site colors. Typography is relating to site fonts and that kind of thing. General, let's open up this. So these are all about icons. You can add underlines to your links if you would like. And that is on by default. You can cache dynamic CSS. And those are the options in general settings. Let me go back. This back button is a pain in my rear end here. Sorry, folks. I'm losing my... Let me go back. Menus. So this is where we're going to do some magic. So... I'm going to create a new menu, and this is what we'll do to create our menu options. And this is basically where we're going to assign different options to our menu. So we're going to talk about the different pages we want on our site. And here's where we're actually going to create our menu items. And we're going to do this in this option as well. Michael, this is Generate Press. I'm not sure, did I mention that earlier? Because I might have said that like 500 million times. This is Generate Press. Why? Does it look different? At least I think it's Generate Press. Maybe you're making me second guess myself. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and create a new menu. So create. And something to know about menus is that you want to make them accessible. So an accessible menu has an accessible name. For example, when I create my menu, I don't want to call it navigation bar 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Underline graphic link button. And yes, that is a true story. I have heard menu items or menus being called that exact phrase. Yes, that is the exact phrase I've heard of a menu being called. I am not lying, folks. It's what you see at work when you're an accessibility auditor. Anyways, what you want to do is you want to create a menu that is descriptive. So, for example, menu names that I like to use include navigation, main, menu. You could use menu, although that's generic. So I like to use navigation because it clearly defines what the user is going to be doing, right? It's the main navigation. So for that reason, I'm going to go ahead and name this navigation. Okay. And I can decide if I want a widget or my primary menu. I'm going to go ahead and check this primary menu box. And I'm going to go hit next. Okay. Now, I'm going to go to add or remove menu items. I'm going to go to toggle section pages. I'm going to add new page and I'm going to call it home. I'm going to press enter. And I just added my home page. I'm going to call it about. And all I'm doing is I found the text box that says add new page. I'm pressing enter after I type my page and it's already adding to the menu in the order that I want to add it in. I can also reorder menu items as well, but this is a good trick. You can also go under appearance and menus as well. So there's many ways to do this in the WordPress world, but I just like to do all this customization while I'm already in the customizer. I'm going to call it about. And sometimes if you're using NVDA, you have to shift tab. And, whoops. About. So we got home, about. And for now, I'm going to add contact. We're going to add more links probably later. But these are all the links that I want to add for right now. Actually, you know what? I'm going to add resources. And contact. Alright, so currently what we've done is we've added a menu and it has home, about, resources, and contact. I think that is going to be a good enough job for now, but we're also going to have stuff in the footer, which we're going to get to later. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go back. And I'm going to go back. Whoops. Okay. I'm going to go back. And now this is where widgets. So this is what I call decluttering or decrapifying WordPress. I'm getting rid of all the default content that comes in a WordPress install. And so what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to get rid of all the things that come on this WordPress site. And so it's actually fully blank. Okay, so, all right. So this is a little bit tricky. So on Generate Press, there's really a couple of areas where you have extra widgets. The right sidebar is our first victim. So we're going to click on this right sidebar. And we have a tutorial here. I'm just going to go ahead and dismiss it. Now, the way we do this is we found a post here. Let's see. I found a post block, and I'm going to simply find the options button. Actually, I lied. I'm going to, let's see. I think, okay, so, that work? Yes, I simply went into the blocks for the header, the right sidebar, and I pressed Control A, Control Control A and delete, and it got rid of all the 3 blocks that were there. So I'm simply going to go back now, and I'm going to make sure that none of my other areas have widgets, because these are all block-based widgets now, and so it's a little bit trickier. There's also some commands I can look up and show you guys later, but these are really good ways to get rid of your stuff here. So let me go back. And you can also add widgets as well, which we're not going to do quite yet. Header, let's make sure we have no widgets in here. No. So the only area we have widgets is the sidebar, and we got rid of it. So we're going to get out of widgets. Okay. Homepage settings. We're going to click on this. So what we're going to say for now is our homepage displays a static page. So on WordPress, you've got 2 options. Your homepage can either display a static post page where it will update. Your WordPress page can either display a static page where it will display static text, or it can display your latest post. So since this is a homepage for our front of the WordPress YouTube channel, I'm going to go ahead and have it display a static page. But if this was more of a blog, I'd have it display my latest post if that's what my website was about. So let me go ahead and tell this to display my static page. I'm going to click this, and then it asks me what is my homepage. And I'm going to select my homepage that I just created in my step above. And do you see why I go in order, folks, in the customizer? I go in order because it makes it a lot easier to be able to add things like this. Because if I did homepage settings before my menu, I wouldn't have an item to add to this homepage. So that's why I go in order like this. I can also select a post page. So for now, I'm going to actually leave this empty. But once I have a blog, I might have a blog on this YouTube website. I haven't decided yet. Once I have a blog, I could always add a blog page, and that would only display my latest posts. So I'm going to go ahead and go back now. And, okay. All right. So, folks, we have done all the customization so far for a basic WordPress website. So what I'm going to do is there's this big, huge button at the top of your WordPress customizer, and it's called Publish. I'm going to hit this Publish button. And if you're watching live, it's going to simply update. So if you refresh and you're watching the site being built live, you're going to see it update, and you're going to see different changes. And so something else I like to do when I'm building sites, I like to open up my site in a new tab. That way I can be able to have the site in one tab as well as the site builder in another. So I like to actually open up in an incognito tab. That way I can see how it looks for other people. Right? That way I don't have to see all the admin toolbar stuff. So, .com. Okay. So let's see how our site looks so far, shall we? Perfect. Okay, I got my skip link here. And it looks like we've got an empty website. Perfection. So far, we have went ahead and we have added some of our content, meaning our homepage, about, and resources and contact. We've also gotten rid of all the posts and all of that kind of thing. The next thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and install some necessary plugins. So plugins are what helps enhance the functionality of your WordPress site. Themes are what helps enhance the visuals of your site. And so what I want to actually do here is I want to go ahead and install the plugins that we're going to need. So let's go ahead and do some plugin installation. And I'm going to close this website customizer. I'm going to go to plugins now. Whoops. And our website kind of looks like crap right now. But, you know. I'm going to simply go to Add New Plugin. And let's see what our popular plugins are. I'm just curious. Let's see what's popular, folks. So if you go underneath the filters, you can see all the things that are popular. Classic Editor is the #1 installed plugin. Akismet, Jetpack. Installing Jetpack. I love my Jetpack. Okay. So with themes and plugins, you have 2 steps. You have installation and activation. So I'm going to wait for this to be done. Classic Widgets, Gutenberg, Health Check, BB Press, Buddy Press, Rollback Update Failure. And then you have these different tags here. Ads, Admin, Affiliate, Ajax. So if you're not sure what kind of plugin you should use for your site and you want to know what kind of functionality to build out, you can actually go look at these different tags and you can be able to find different things for what you're trying to do. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to activate Jetpack. I'm not going to actually set it up right now, but I'm going to go ahead and activate Jetpack. Okay. So, if you're not sure about Jetpack and you want to know more, go check out the video on my channel, 5 reasons why you should be using Jetpack, or 5 reasons why you're missing out by not using Jetpack, and I explain exactly what Jetpack is. The link is in the description of this video. So, I'm going to go ahead and install some more plugins, and actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys what I do if I don't know what kind of plugin I should use for my website. So, something I want to do is I want to be able to get all my YouTube videos, and I want to have it auto-populate and post to Twitter and that kind of thing. So I had a plugin for a while, but it stopped working, and it actually took a whole bunch of resources. So we need to figure out another solution. So let's go ahead and see if we can't show you guys how this is done. So that way if you're wanting to know, if you're trying to find a certain functionality for a site, maybe you're able to understand how that's done. So let's go to Plugins. Add New. And I'm going to type in YouTube. Poster. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so video gallery. And that's not what I'm looking for. FS Poster Light. That is a duplicate because you can do the same thing with Jetpack. Tutor LMS. Next scripts. Okay. Feed them social. Ultimate video. That could be cool for notifications. But see, I'm looking at different things that I could use. I'm like, do I want this? Do I not? That's a little bit interesting. PowerPress. That is a classic plugin if you are interested in podcasting. Corona test results. Interesting. I don't know why that showed up. Able Player. A very accessible video player. Let's see when the last time it was updated. I can't remember. Oh. Whoops. Ugh. Folks, another thing about WordPress is that if the plugin hasn't been updated in, I'd even go with a rule of like 6 months or longer, you shouldn't use it because WordPress has so many security vulnerabilities. You'd hate for your site to be opened up because you have a plugin that's out of date. So that's just something to keep in mind. Always use most up-to-date plugins as possible. Okay. So. Well, that is intriguing. Another thing I like to do is if I want to test a plugin for accessibility, I like to use something called Taste WP where I can actually test something, and if it doesn't work, I could just get rid of that instance and it doesn't even bother my live site. So Taste WP is a great testing tool for your WordPress sites. Okay, so I'm not finding anything I want here, so let me go ahead and skip that part for now. But either way, I'm just showing you guys the process of searching for plugins that you might be interested in. So Jetpack is the main plugin we're also going to need. Another thing we're going to need is Wordfence. So Wordfence is my favorite security plugin of all times, and it allows you to make sure that your website is protected against spammers, hackers, and all that fun stuff. And another plugin we're going to install as well as Updraft Plus, which is my favorite backup plugin of all times. So let's go ahead and install these plugins because having backups of your site is super important, as well as making sure your site is secure. So there was a question posted on Twitter the other day. What are your most... Let me try that again. A question was posted on Twitter the other day asking people that use WordPress, what are the 3 plugins you install first for any WordPress site? My answer to that is Jetpack, Updraft Plus, and Wordfence. So, that is my answer to that. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to add my Wordfence, and then we're going to go ahead and add our Updraft. So, I'm just going to search here, so Updraft Plus. And again, a lot of these plugins have free and paid versions as well. I'm just going to go with the free version for now. And it will back up to your Google Drive, Dropbox, or, Sync, any of these cloud services. It will back your site up. And you can go ahead and choose a schedule when you want your website to be backed up. I recommend daily, so I'll show you guys how to set that up. So I recommend daily backups for all of your sites. Activate Updraft Plus. Alright, so let me go ahead and add Wordfence, and then we're going to go ahead and set these plugins up. Whoops. I cannot seem to type. While I'm adding plugins, folks, if anyone's in my chat, say hi. If anyone's confused about what we're doing, are you guys learning anything? Are you guys enjoying this content? Let me know. And say hi if you are here. I always want to know who's around. I'm going to install Wordfence. And I'm going to activate Wordfence. So we've installed it. We're going to activate it now. It's going to take a second. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to set up our plugin. So I'm going to go ahead and type in our email. So Wordfence, we're going to go ahead and set this up first. So this is an email where if Wordfence finds issues with your site, it will send you a notification. So for this website, since this is my TWP, I'm going to go ahead and put in my email address. And actually, if I was smart, I would actually create an email at TWP, tay@twp.com. But for now, I'm just going to put my main Techopolis email. But that's just something to keep in mind as well. Google Workspace is the bomb, folks. So, anyways, so I'm going to put in Taylor, my just regular email, because it will send you different emails about your site if, there's something wrong with it. So, really important. I've read and agreed to the Wordfence license agreement and terms and conditions. I'm going to continue. I'm not going to upgrade to premium. I'm just going to hit no thanks. Okay. I'm going to set up my Jetpack now. So we've set up Wordfence, now we're going to set up Jetpack. So Jetpack uses WordPress.com in order to be able to use it. And what also it has is uptime monitoring. So say if your site goes down, you'll get an email about that, which is great. So it replaces services like Uptime Robot, which, by the way, is absolutely terrible. And also has other social media icons and that kind of thing. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and it uses WordPress.com. I'm going to go ahead and change this email to Taylor@Decrapifying. You know what, actually, yeah, let's do that. I can choose the username. So right now, I'm just creating a WordPress.com account. So I'm just going to say Tay aren't. Actually, okay. Okay. Oh, already exists. Okay. So, here. You know what? What I'm going to do actually is I'm going to do Tay Tay aren't 22. I'm going to choose a password. I'm going to hit create my account, and that will create my WordPress.com account, which is basically how Jetpack works. It uses WordPress.com, which is the proprietary version of WordPress. WordPress has two different flavors, WordPress.com, WordPress.org. WordPress.com is what's created by Automatic, and that is the managed WordPress, meaning that it is done for you, and you can actually start for free using WordPress.com. And it's a lot what blogs usually use. So it's like, for example, Tay's blog 123.wordpress.com is basically a way to have WordPress without having to install it and do all that stuff. Or you have WordPress.org, which is what we're using. And the other thing that this Jetpack gives you.
If something looks wrong, you can use the Alexa app.
Hey, shut up. Sorry, y'all. Our Echo decided to go off. Another thing that this gives you is the ability to use the WordPress app and the Jetpack app as well. So that's really cool. So we're going to go ahead and say start for free. Okay. So I'm going to find the free button. Whoops. They have different plans, but for now, we'll just do start for free. If I can find the free button, they hide this thing. There we go. So start for free. Okay. So just created the WordPress site. Now it's asking what kind of site is TWP. So this is I'm going to say personal, simply because this is my personal YouTube channel related to WordPress. I'm going to continue. And I'm going to say start for free. Actually, no, I'm just going to say decide later. I don't want to do that. Do you want downtime monitoring to notify you if your website's down? Absolutely. Make sure you enable this. Enable this. Enable downtime monitoring. Displaying related posts. So this will display related posts at the end of your content and blog posts. For now, I'm going to go ahead and disable this, but it could be a good feature if you have a blog and you want people to keep reading. It will display related posts. For now, though, I'm going to go ahead and disable this, but I may change my mind at a later time. Not now. The Jetpack subscriber form. So this will allow you to turn visitors into subscribers, meaning that whenever a new post is published, they can get an email. I'm going to go ahead and try this. I've never tried this before, just for the heck of it. So let's go ahead and install this real quick. It's basically like a newsletter. So now this is called caching image optimization, and we already know my opinion about caching, at least if you've been a long-time viewer of my channel. I'm going to go ahead and disable this image optimization because I do not need it. Not now. Nice work. Let's recap. Alright. And of course it's wanting us to pay again. We don't want to pay. Okay. So, our jetpack is set up. Now, what I want to do is I want to check out our creative mail settings. So this way it'll be cool because I can have people, whenever a new post is updated, it will send them an email so they can subscribe to the site. So, let's see how this works. Folks, disclaimer, I've never used this before, so this could be an absolute epic fail. Okay. Alright, folks, that is going to be a no-go. Because that uses constant contact. And literally, guys, they kept calling me when I signed up for them constantly. Like, they called me 5 or 6 times a day. Michael remembers the days when we had Zoom phone. And I swear to God, they called 5 to 6 times a day. Michael, say in chat if you remember that. Say in chat if you remember those days. It was so annoying. So I'm not going to use Creative Mail. But what I am going to do is I'm going to look for a plugin in the directory that maybe I can turn my visitors into subscribers. Because that'd be really cool whenever I post a new video, is that they would get notified. That way they can go check it out. So let me go ahead and go to my plugins directory. Alright. But yeah, Michael remembers the days when that happened. Oh yeah, Michael. Alright. It was so annoying because if I didn't answer the call, it'd go to him. And then if he didn't answer the call, it'd go to our friend Lauren. It was so annoying. Oh my god. Okay. So, I'm going to go to add new plugin. Whoops. Wow. Okay. So, let's see if we can't figure out a solution to this problem. What the world? I'm just going to type in subscribers. Email subscribers and simply newsletters. Okay. Mail Poet. That's a great option as well. Okay. You know what? I might honestly use Mail Poet. Mail Poet was actually bought by WooCommerce. I could also use that option. Blessed by Websoft. Okay. Okay. So. Oh. Michael. Oh, so I found web push notifications. This could be cool to check out. So say that you've got new posts, you can actually have it go post to people's web browsers, and you can enable notifications on the site. That's a really cool plugin there, folks. So I might have to put that in my back pocket to install at a later point when I can test it out. So cool, cool, cool. That is wonderful. All right, so let's see. Paid membership pro. Okay. Alright, I think I'm just going to install MailPoet. So it's a free plugin. So I'm just going to install MailPoet. That way, whenever a blog post gets published, all my subscribers will get an email. And they can subscribe to my site if they would like. So, I'm going to activate this. Because there will be times when I post things or, different things like that come up. So, that'll be great. Alright, so let's see here. So I've installed MailPoet. Okay. And all I'm going to do for now is I'm going to start with the free plan. That gives you 1,000 subscribers. So that's plenty for now. Oh, you know what? I messed up here. Let me go ahead and get rid of this creative mail. Plugins. Install plugin. So remember what we're going to do here. We're going to select the plugin. And we're going to create a mail. We're going to check it. And we're going to deactivate it first. Apply, and then we're going to delete it. So first you have to deactivate it, and then you delete it. Alright. Delete. So we just activated it, and now we're going to delete it. That is the best way in order to do this. So we're going to activate, we're going to delete, and boom. Our creative mail is gone. Now let's go ahead and go back to MailPoet, and then we'll set up Updraft and that kind of fun business. So let's go to Updraft, or create up. Blah, blah, blah. What do we call this thing? MailPoet. I've got too many names in my head right now, guys. I'm going to go to Forms here. And there's a lot of different things that you can do. Like I said, there's a lot of different, MailPoet is cool. It's pretty accessible. So that's what we're going to do. Who is it from? So I'm going to type in TWP. So it's just asking who is it from. I'm going to say news at twp.com, which I'm going to be creating. Continue. So this is just a setup wizard for MailPoet. And again, MailPoet is going to be good for us so that we can tell our subscribers, hey, we've got a new video out. Go check it out. I don't want to sign up to your email course, so I'm going to go ahead and continue. Gathering usage data. Make sure you enable this so that you can contact support, because if you can't, then you can't get support. So you can actually sign up for premium for free. Right now, folks, I'm going to go ahead and not do that because there is a lengthy approval process. You just have to submit some stuff to them telling them what you're going to use their service for and yada, yada, yada. I'm going to go ahead and use the free plan, but you can go ahead and do this. And in fact, I would really recommend doing it if you have under 1,000 subscribers because it will help your reputation for mail go up. Because instead of using your server to send the mail, it'll actually use their server. So it'll be a lot better and it won't end up in spam as easily. But for now, I'm just going to use free because I don't want to have to go through this process during this. process here. Alright, so. Okay, so I can do creative welcome emails. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to say latest post notifications, and I'm going to have this get set up. I'm going to set these up right now. And so I'm just going to show you guys how it's done. I'm going to hit set up. That way, every time a new post is created, it will send out an email. So, and it's going to send it once a day at midnight. I'm going to go ahead and change this to, let's do basically so that if there's a new post, it will send it once a day. I could also have it send a weekly newsletter of all the different posts. And depending on how many posts I have, I may end up doing that. But for now, I'm just going to do daily because if there's not a post, it will not send something. So let's just do at 8 a.m. So it'll be 8 a.m. Central to send it. I'm just going to hit next. Alright, so now we're going to look at our templates here. So this is a blank one column template. I'm going to go ahead and select this template. I want to make it very simple. So, don't play video, please. Good. Now, this is a little bit interesting how this works, so. Alright, so the only thing that we have to do is by the laws of the United States, you have to add a postal address so that way for anti-spam. So the only thing that I need to do this template is I need to add my postal address. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and not do that right now for obvious reasons because I don't want y'all to know where I live even though you're going to know eventually. That way it's not being displayed to the whole entire world. So that is what we're going to do for now. And I'm going to actually talk to Michael about that later. But I'm going to go next. Now you can actually edit every element of this. But because I like the way that this looks, I'm going to go ahead and not edit any of these templates. Alright. So subscribe, multiple lists. So these are basically different mailing lists. Sender, TWP, I'm going to go ahead and activate it. Whoops. Newsletter mailing list. I'm going to go ahead and select newsletter mailing list. And that way people can go ahead and subscribe if they want to be on my newsletter. So, I'm not going to worry about Google Analytics campaigns. I'm going to go ahead and activate. And that way, whenever a new post is published, somebody will get an email. Perfection. Because that's a great part of a blog, is that whenever a new email, you get a notification. That way, you know that, hey, this has been published. So, I do not want to do that right now, so I'm just going to hit no thanks. Alright. Whoops. So, that has been activated. Perfect. So, we've done that. Now, we're going to go ahead and do our Updraft Plus. And we're going to go ahead and set that up. So, let me find Updraft. Updraft Plus. Let me find my Updraft. I don't think it ever got installed. Let me go ahead and figure that out. Add new. Type in Updraft Plus. Oh, it is. Really? Okay. Don't know why I couldn't find it there. Okay, so let me find Updraft Plus here. I guess it was already installed. Okay. And I want to enable auto updates. Make sure that all of your plugins and themes are enable auto updates. That way they all get updated, and that way it's a lot easier in terms of security. So, okay. So, where's my updraft? Let me find WordPress. Okay. Let me find. Updraft Plus backups. All right, I found it here. It just took me a minute, folks. So we're going to go ahead and set this up. Again, folks, if you're in chat, go ahead and say hi. Send my backups to remote storage. I'm going to go ahead and enable that. Make sure that's very important. So file backup interval. I'm going to say every day. I'm going to retain 5. 5 is a good number because it's like a week's worth. And that way, if something were to happen, you'd at least have 5 backups. 5. 5. Now, I guess it all the option. So, with my database, I guess I don't have the. Oh, wait, you know what? Daily, here we go. 5. 5 is a magic number, folks. I don't want to use Updraft Plus Premium. So, tap on an icon. I'm going to do backup using Google Drive. And then it will create a Google Drive folder called Updraft Plus with all my backups in it. And in order to do this with NVDA, you gotta do some insert enter on this. And then what you're gonna do, whoops, is, oh shucks. I'm going to make sure that I check the right one here. All you're going to do is hit save changes, and it will make you log in to those services. Okay. I don't want to enable OneDrive. Save changes. And then it's going to make me log in with my Google account. All right. So, I'm going to have an email account as well. All right. So, I can have it send an email report, which is nice. But that get very annoying. Alright, so the Google Drive. So save changes. Okay, so I've logged into Google. So I just had to stop sharing my screen. But so far we've logged into Google. We've got our Updraft Plus set up for every day. And the next thing I want to do is I want to configure some social media settings. So how we're going to do this is we're going to go ahead and go into widgets. And we're going to add some social media icons. So this is where you can see Jetpack's true power. So it's going to be pretty great because we're going to show you guys how to use Jetpack for your own gain. So it's going to be pretty great. What I'm going to go ahead and do, though, is I'm going to go under Jetpack. I'm going to click on Jetpack. And what we're going to do is... Okay, it's wanting me to configure these things. Okay. So, what we're going to do is we're going to see. I want to try the Jetpack Mobile App. Okay. So, let me go under my Jetpack. And it will open up on WordPress.com. Maybe. I'm not sure what this is going to do. Okay, so. Let me see what's going on here. Whoops. Let me go back. I did not want to do that. Alright. I think I'm out of practice, folks. Jetpack. Settings. Alright. So, yes, we're going to go to settings. So I'm going to go under writing, and I'm going to enable some different widgets here. So, I don't want to create carousels. Photo exif metacells. Carousels. Nope. That's cool. So I can copy posts and pages. I'm going to go ahead and enable this option because that might be helpful. Write posts and pages in Markdown syntax. Honestly, this is actually a default option in Gutenberg now, so there's no reason why we need to enable it. So I'm going to go ahead and just go ahead and leave this as is. Use LaTeX. I'm not going to plan to write any mathematical content because, man, I really am not good at math. So let me go ahead and... Short codes to embed from popular sites. I don't really see why this is necessary either because we've got different blocks. Jetpack blocks. Okay. Testimonials. Again, this is not a business website, so I don't really see the value of that. Portfolio again. This is also not my personal site. Maybe on my personal site I'll do a portfolio. Infinite scroll. Enhance CSS. Make extra widgets available for your site. So you know what? The other thing we could do is if we didn't want to use MailPoet, we could actually use Jetpack's native subscription widgets. So we have different options, but I just want to use MailPoet that way I can show you guys how it works. So I'm going to go ahead and make extra widgets available. And this is how we're going to be able to add social media icons to our site. So I'm going to check those. Enable widget visibility controls. Post by email is interesting. You can post via email and send your stuff to a unique email address where it can be posted. So that's a really cool way to post via email. I'm going to go ahead and not enable that for now. I don't want to enable the WordPress.com toolbar because that could override the WordPress.org. Alright, so those are what we're going to do now. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go under widgets. And then this is where we're going to kind of build out the footer of our site. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go under widgets and we're going to add some social media icons. And this is where we're going to have our YouTube social media, TWP Twitter, and that kind of thing. So let us go ahead and go under widgets. Okay. Yep, I said welcome to Block Widgets. That's died. I've already know this a million times. I don't want to read this. I just get started. So, what we're going to do is we're going to add Block Widgets. And I'm going to go under footer. And I'm going to go under footer widget 2, actually. Actually, sorry, I'm going to go under footer widget 1. I'm going to type in social media. Social icons. Okay. So now I just added some social media. And that way you could be able to have all the social media icons for my channel. So what we're going to do now is we're going to, let's see how we're going to do this. We're going to have this setting, so it says close settings, and I want to make sure that I enable my social media icons right when it has the settings bar open. It's going to open on the right side, so I'm just going to leave it as default. Horizontal, I'm just going to leave this. A lot of multiple lines. Open links to new tab. I'm going to go ahead and enable that. That way it opens up a new tab. And let's see, how do I enable add icons? Anchor. Okay, so what we're going to do is alright, so I went ahead and did that. Now I need to figure out how to add my icons. Alright, so I'm gonna go block. Whoops. Okay, so it's a little bit tricky, folks. Okay, so this is a little bit tricky. going to go social media icons. And I'm going to go out of this here. Interesting. Okay, so yeah, I don't like how this works. Alright. I don't like how this works at all. Alright. Okay. So it's a little bit tricky, folks. Okay, so let me save this. You know what? Okay. So. What we're going to have to do is I got to figure out how to add one, so I got to add a social media icon. And that is not working for me. Okay, folks, we're having some issues. Okay, we might have to come back to this. So let's go ahead and look at our sites in our other tab here. Whoops. And this had already added my widgets for me, which would be really, 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 really stupid. I mean, I'm just saying. That wouldn't be really helpful at all. So, let's see. Yep. It did not. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and have to skip that portion for now, because that's just going to be a pain in my butt. So, done with the social media icons. But let's see what else we can add here. I want to be able to add a subscription form, so that way people can subscribe. So that's what we're going to do. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to go to footer. Footer widget 2. Add block. I'm going to type in subscribe. Whoops. Payment. Mail poet. Mail poet subscription form. Alright, so what we did is we went ahead and added a Mailbox subscription form here. But what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to create a new form. And I can actually create it from my widget area. So, I don't want to do a pop-up because those are very annoying for screen reader users. I'm just going to say other widgets. Welcome discount, no. Select newsletter sign up. And I got this nice little video, which should not be playing. It's so annoying. Alright. So what I'm going to do, this form adds the subscribers to these lists. Newsletter. Okay. I'm going to say subscribe for the latest posts. Now I'm going to say sign up to receive our latest posts. For our latest posts. Sign up. All right. So what I did is I went ahead and made a form. We will see if I like it, and if I don't, I can go ahead and subscribe. Excuse me, I can change the form. Alright, I stopped that video. It's so annoying. So let me make sure I'm doing this right here. Alright, so basically all I'm doing is making sure I get it right. Good form. Show message. Form placement. Below pages. Alright. Save. So let's go ahead and test it and make sure we do an accessibility check. TeddyWP.com. Okay. So we just did an accessibility check. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so it looks like we're not having any forms showing up yet. All right, so all right. So, actually what I'm going to do is create a new form. I already have a form. But you know what? Let's look at these other templates because I think I messed up. Okay. I'm going to start with a blank form. Okay. All right. So, what we're going to do is, I'm going to see if I can design this form. Okay. Okay. So I can display on all. Save. And hopefully this works. Alright, so I just made a form. I would recommend going with the blank. That would be really helpful. That way you can be able to make sure you get what you want. Okay, so I went with blank. And uh-oh. I need to fix that. It's a pop-up. Let me figure out how to add that. Alright. So, think, folks, form placement. Alright. So think that I'm going to update this. Let's make sure I didn't break accessibility because, while I'm building the site, it's always important for me to check accessibility. So, twp.com. And let's see what we got here. Alright. Well, it looks good. Subscribe. We've got an email form. So far we've added an email form that just says subscribe. And we can go ahead and add more to that later. But that is what we have so far. So we've got a subscription form that's just below everything. That way it's kind of out of the footer. I might move it eventually later once we do design. But for now, it's okay. It's fine. So I think that's going to do it for part 2. In part 3, we're going to add some content. and we're going to talk more about design and that kind of thing and add some more plugins. But I think this will do it, folks, for part 2. So feel free to watch more, and if you have any more questions, comment on the video, as well as you can also check out Techopolis and all of our other content. But with that, folks, I think that'll do it for tonight's stream. Have a great night, everyone, and we're going to talk soon.